Hello friends, welcome to this Python programming tutorial. Today we are going to learn the basics of Python in a simple and easy way. Python is one of the most popular programming languages today and it is perfect for beginners. You can use Python to create websites, work on data science projects, and even build AI applications. What makes Python special is its simple syntax. Syntax means the way we write code, and Python syntax is very clean and easy to understand. This makes it great for people who are just starting the code. To download the Python in your system, you have to just open the browser and here you have to write download Python. Download Python, and you can see the different links of the Python. So this is the official link of Python, and here you can click and go to the Python website. So if you are working on the any other kind of operating system like Linux, Mac, so you can download through it. But if you working on the Windows operating system, you have to click on the download Python 3.12.7. So as I click on here, my file is downloaded, and to install this file, you have to just click double click on this file. Actually Python is already installed on my system. So to check whether the Python is installed or not, you have to just go to command prompt, and here you have to write Python hyphen hyphen version. So you can see the version of the Python. So Python 3.11.7 is installed on my system. To write the Python code, you need a text editor like VS Code or Jupyter and must have installed on your system. So I generally preferred Jupyter for the Python, and now I will tell you how to install the Jupyter on our system, on your system. So you have to go search box, and here you have to write CMD and open the command prompt. In command prompt you have to write pip install Jupyter lab. It will take few seconds, and now Jupyter is installing. So okay, so Jupyter is installed. To check whether it is installed or not, you have to just write or give a command Jupyter Jupyter hyphen hyphen version. So here you can see IPython, IPyKernel, clients, code, server, lab, client, convert. Okay, so Python is installed in my system. Ab to write the code, you need a notebook or you need a file. So you can just write a Jupyter notebook, and you will redirect on your browser or notebook, Jupyter notebook. So this is a this is your complete Jupyter. To write the program, to write the code, you have to just click on the new, and here you can see the notebook, terminal console, new file, new folder. So you have to just click on the notebook and you will redirect to the new tab, and here you can write any kind of the code of Python, and you can practice here. Okay, so we are going to talk about one of the most important concept in Python and all programming languages, that's a variable. So variables are the fundamental building blocks of any programming language, including Python. They allow you to store and manipulate data, providing the flexibility to create dynamic and responsive applications. So think of a variable as a container that stores data. It allows us to store information and use it throughout our program. To declare the variables, you have to just write the variable name, and after that you have to use the assigning operator. So first of all, you have to write the variable name and use the assigning operator, and here you can write the value which you want to store on your variable. It can be string, it can be integer, it can be decimal values. So if value is string, then you can use this, and here you can write the any type of string like. And if you use the integer, then you can variable name. So it can be anything, variable name is salary, etc. So 23. So this is a basic syntax of the defining or declaring the variable. Now, so for example, if we want to store the name, so you have to just write the or declare the variable name. So I have just write name equal to, this is a our assigning operator. This is not a equal operator, it is a assigning operator, which means uh, this value means Narendra. This is assigned to the name variable. So this is means Narendra is stored in the name variable. And if we click shift plus enter, then it will be executed. And if we want to print the name, you have to just use the print function, print, and here you can write the name, and using shift plus enter you can get the result of the this function. So this is our output of the print name. If we want to type of the name, so you can just write type name. So you can see that the type of the name is a string. If you want to store the integer type of value, you can just write like I want to print or I want to store the age. So I have to just write age and 20, and I will print is. So you can see the output of the 20. So this is our integer value. And how can we define that is a integer? You can just check or by using type function. Here you can see you can write type and is. So you can see this is a integer value. And if you want to store the floating value, you have to just write salary equal to uh, so this is our salary. And if we want to print salary, so you can see the output of the salary. And if we want to check the type of the salary, you have to just write type and SALARY salary. So you can see that is a floating value or decimal value. So this is a way of defining the variable. There is a no need to define the type of variables. It will automatically understand the type of the variable. So there is some naming convention to declare the name of variables. So first is readability. Choose meaningful names that describe the variable's purpose, making your code more intuitive. Consistency. Follow Python's naming conventions such as using lowercase with underscore for variables names, and uh, always avoid using single letter variables and reserved keywords. So what is reserved keywords? Reserved keywords means that keywords or that words which is already defining by the systems or compiler, like constant, static, main. So this is a this is some words which is already defined by the compiler. Or so you also do not use the special character like at the rate. So as I write the at the rate and assign the value 10. So as I execute this line, it will show the error, syntax error. So this is an invalid syntax. So I cannot use the special character. And if we use any keyword or reserved keyword, so if we use the any reserved word like if, if is a reserved word. So if we use the if word, if reserved word, and assigning the value 20 and execute this line, so it will generate the syntax error. Else is also a reserved word. So if we define the as a else variable name as a else, then it will also get show the syntax error. Okay, so now we will talk about the conditional statements. What is the conditional statement in Python? So these statements help your program make decisions, just like how we can make choice every day. For example, imagine you are deciding whether to carry an umbrella. If it is raining, you'll take it with you. If not, you will leave it behind. Conditional statements in Python work the same way. They allow your code to choose what to do based on the conditions it encounters. Before we start coding, let's understand why conditional statements are so important. So, why use conditional statement? First, decision making, second, code optimization, and third is logic control. So, what is making decision or decision making? Just like in real life, programs often need to make decision. For instance, should the program display a welcome message if user login? Condition statements helps answer such questions. Code optimization, improving efficiency. With conditional statements, your program can skip parts of the code that are not needed. This keeps things running smoothly and avoids wasting the times. And third is logic control. Controlling the flow of the program. Sometimes you will need to handle complicated situations where multiple things are happening at once. Conditional statements allow your program to follow a clear and logical path depending on the situation. With these 3 points in mind, conditional statements become essential tools to help your program act smart and makes the right choice. So now let's start with the most basic if statement. So go to the our code part. You have to just search cmd and give the command Jupyter notebook. I think something is wrong. Jupyter notebook. So our Jupyter notebook is opening, and here you have to create a new notebook. Okay, so first of all you have to write the if, and then here you can write condition. After that, here you can write the block of code. So this is our basic syntax of the if statement. So now I will write if condition. If x is greater than 10, then print x is greater than 10. So here you can see that this condition is false. Okay, so this statement is not executed. If this condition is true, x is less than 10, then print x is less than 10. So now you can see that x is less than 10 is printed. Why? Because here you can see that x is 5 or and 5 is not greater than 10. So this block of code is not executed. But here x is 5 and 5 is also less than 10. So of code is executed. And here x is 5 and 5 is also a less than 10. So this block of code or print x is less than 10 is executed. But what if we want to tell our program what to do when condition is false? That's where the if statement comes in handy. Now we can give the program two options. Do one thing if the condition is true and something else if it is false. So there is a if else program. So if first of all I write the basic syntax of the if else statement. So if and write the condition, and here you will write the block of code, and there is a else statement, and here you can write the else code. So you have, so this is the basic syntax of the if else statement. So first of all you have to write the if statement and then condition x is greater than 10, then block of code print x is greater than 10, else print x is less than 10, less than 10. So this is a basic example of the if else statement. So if x will greater the 10, then this statement will execute. But if x is not greater than 10 or x is less than 10, then this statement will be executed. So now we will run this program. So you can see the x is less than 10. Why? Because we assign the value for x is 5. So 5 is less than 10, and here you can see 5 is greater than 10. So this condition is false because 5 is less than 10, not greater than 10. So this statement is not executed, and this condition is false, so this statement is executed. So this is a if else statement or conditional statements by which we can optimize our program, or we can decide whether block of code is executed or not. So what if there are more than two possibilities? For example, we might want to check if a number is greater than, equal to, or less than 10. This is where the if else statements helps. So this is a if else statement. First condition check, and then second condition check, and if all the conditions are false, then else block will be executed. So here you can see the basic diagram of the if statement. Instruction: if condition is true, then this instruction will be executed. If this condition will false, then go to the next elif condition. If this condition will be true, then this instruction will executed, and all elif and if and else condition will be skipped. But if this elif is false, then go to the next elif, and all of the if and elif conditions are false, then go to the direct go to the else statement and executed this instruction. So this is the flow of the if elif statements. So now come to the coding part. So if x is greater than 10, print x is greater than 10. If x is equal to 10, print x is equal to 10, else print x is less than 10. So this is our basic else if program. So this is a else if program. So our value of x is 5. So first check the if condition. If x is greater than 10, so x is 5 and 5 is not greater than 10, so this block of code will be skipped. And now check the second condition, elif condition. So x is 5 and 5 is not equal to the 10, so also this part of the code is skipped. And now this condition is and this condition, both conditions are false. then directly go to the else condition. Not a else condition, it is a by default. So if uh, its conditions are false, then is it go to the else statement and execute this statement. So now execute this or run this program. So you can see the x is less than 10 because x is 5, 5 is greater than 10. This condition is false. Now x is 10, x is equal to 10 means 5 is equal to 10 means this is not true, this is false. So also skip this code or this statement. So it will directly print this 10. Change to the 10, and first of all you have to execute this line, and now I will execute this program. So you can see x is equal to 10. Why? Because now x the value of x is 10. So x is equal to 10. So this condition is true and this statement will be executed. If we change the value from 10 to 13, and also when we change any line of the program, you have to execute this line. So when I change the x is equal to 10 to 13, I have to execute this line. After that, we have to execute this program. So now x is a 13 and 13 is greater than 10. So this will print this statement. Why? Because this condition is true and this condition is false. So only true condition will be executed. So this is a if else statement. Now let's make things a bit more interesting by talking about nested conditional statement. This means you can put an if statement inside another if statement. Why would you do that? Well, sometimes you need to check one condition and then another condition. If the first one is true, if condition 1 is true, then level 2 is executed. If condition 2 is true, then level 3 is executed. If condition 3 is true, then specific code is executed. Here is a block diagram by which you can understand that first of all you have to check or you have to decide that condition is true or not. If condition is true, you have to check another condition, that if condition is true, then go to the uh, execute. If condition is true, you will have to execute this program, and if condition is false, go to the or check the another condition. If condition is true, then now again you have to check the condition is true or not. If condition is false, go to this condition and here you have to check the condition. If we will see in the our program. So first of all we make the variables a is equal to age ले लेते हैं. So first of all we will make a variable age equal to 10. Okay, so age equal to 10. If age is greater than 18, and also I have to create one more variable so that our program will be execute country, country country equal to India. So if age is greater than 18, and now also check that if country equal to India, then print you can vote. Else print you are not Indian and you can not vote in India. And this is a if else condition, and now write the another else condition. print you can not vote because your age is less than 18. So you can see here one condition is check that age is greater than 18 or not. If age is greater than 18, then again it will check that country is India or not. If age is greater than 18 and country is India, then you can vote. If age is greater than 18 but country is not India, then you are not Indian and you can not vote in Indian. This statement will be executed. But if is age is not greater than 18, then directly go to the else statement. This is else statement and print the you cannot vote because your age is less than 18. So I think in this program this statement will be executed. So now check and execute this program. So here you can see then that you cannot vote because your age is less than 18. Why? Because age is 10 and 10 is less than 18. So it will directly execute this line of code. And if I change this value from 18 to 20, now execute this, you can vote. Why? Because age is 20 and 20 is greater than 18 and also country is India. Here you can see the country is India. So age is 18 and country is India. Now this block of code will be executed. Okay, so our output is also you can vote. So this program is correctly work. And if India, if I change the country from India to US, now you can see you are not Indian and you cannot vote in India. Now here you can see that age is greater than 18, but you are not Indian. Why? Because country is US. So this statement will be executed. First of all, check age is 18, age is greater than 18. This condition is true. Then go to the nested if statement. So now check country is India. This condition is false. So it will directly go to the this statement and print you are not an Indian and you cannot vote in India. So this is our program and this is if else statement. So I think you understand all these things. So now we will talk about the loops. Loops in Python. So imagine you need to repeat a task like adding up a list of numbers or printing a message multiple times. Doing this manually would be tedious, right? That's where loops come in. Loops are incredibly powerful tools in programming that allow us to run the same block of code over and over without needing to write it repeatedly. Let's get started and learn how Python makes it easy to automate repetitive tasks with loops. So generally there are two types of loop. First is a for loop and while loops. These loops help us handle situations where we need to repeat action multiple times, but they have different uses. For loops are perfect when you know exactly how many times you need to repeat some things, like when you are counting items in a list or looping through a range of number. While while loop are great when you don't know how many times you will need to loop in advance. The loop keeps going until a certain condition become false. So now come to the coding part. So the basic syntax of the for loop is first you have to write the for keyword and items and in and then sequence. So this is our basic syntax of the uh, for loop and here you have to write the code which you have to execute again and again. So this is the basic syntax of the for loop. For letter in Python. Here we simply print letter. in this example, the loop takes each character of the word Python and prints it out one by one. The loop automatically knows how many characters are there and stop once it's done. So this is a for loop. For loop can be used to iterate over many types of sequence. So string and list and tuples. So string, as we saw earlier, you can loop through each character in a string. And list and tuples, you can also loop through items in a list or tuple. Let's take a look at another example where we use a for loop to go through a list of numbers. So I will make a numbers, and here 1 2 3 4 5 for number in numbers, for number in numbers, print number, print number. So this is our output. This is same as uh, earlier we print the letter in Pythons. So this loop prints each number from the list, whether it's a list, tuple or string. The for loop will go through each item and run the code inside the loop. Sometimes you may want to loop through a sequence of number without having to create a list. That's where the range function comes in handy. The range function generates a sequence of number which is perfect for looping. Here's how it's work. So for using the range function, for I in range 5, print I. So this will so in this example, the loop prints number from 0 to 4. The range start at 0 by default and goes up to, but does not include the number you specify. So in this case, it stops at 5. Now we will talk about the while loop, which runs for a fixed number of times. The while loop continues as long as a specific condition is true. So the basic syntax of the while loop is while and write the condition, and here we will write the uh, block of code. Now for example, while num is less than 0, print num, print num, and num minus 1. So this is our basic example of the while loop. Here the loop start with num equal to 5. Here the loop start with num equal to 5 and it keeps printing the value of num when it's greater than 0. After each iteration, we subtract 1 from num. When num becomes 0, the condition num is greater than 0 is no longer true and the loop stops. Sometimes you may want to more control over how the loop behaves. Python gives you two helpful statement for that. First is break and second is continuous. So break will immediately stop the loop no matter what. Continue will skip the rest of current iteration and move on to the next one. Let's look at quick example of the break statement. In this code, the loop start counting from 0, but when it reaches 5, the break statement stop the loop completely. So the number 5 to 9 are never printed. Now let's see an example using continue. Here the loop skips the value 3, but continues printing the other numbers. The continue statement makes the loop skip the current iteration and move to the next one. Now we will talk about the nested loop. Sometimes you may need to run a loop inside another loop. This is called a nested loop. For example, you could loop through a list of number and for each number loop through a list of letters. Let's see how nested loop works. So in this example, the outer loop runs 3 times and for each number I, the inner loop prints the letters A, B, and C. Nested loops are powerful, but be careful to many nested loops can slow down your program. Okay, so now we will talk about the list in Python. Lists in Python are powerful data structures that allow you to store and manipulate collections of items. List is nothing but is a collection of items. So lists are one of the most versatile and widely used data structure in Python. They allow you to store and manage collection of items, making it easier to work with data sets and manipulate elements efficiently. List can hold different data types such as number, strings, or even other complex objects and provide a wide range of operations for modification and access. Creating list, you can create a list in Python using square brackets. List can contain a mix of data types and accessing elements. Indexing, Python supports both positive and negative indexing to access list elements and modifying list. You can add, remove, and rearrange elements in the list using various methods and operations. So first of all, we will create a list and then access the element and modifying the list in the our Jupyter notebook. You have to use the square bracket. You have to use the square bracket, and here you can write any data types data. 1, 2, 3, A, A, and B. So this is our list. So by this you can create the list, and I execute, and when I print the list, my list, you can see the complete list of the my list. When print my list, you can see the output of the this line 1, 2, 3, and AV. So this is our creating the list. How can create the list? And if we want to access the any data, any particular data from the list, how can access? So there is a method which is indexing. So it supports positive indexing and negative indexing. Positive indexing means it started from 0 to uh, end, and negative indexing means it started from last to or end to start. So this is the positive and negative indexing. Positive indexing is started with the 0 and negative indexing is started with the -1. So if we want to access the element, any element of the list, you have to just print uh, my list, my list, and here you have to write the index of the element. So as I write the 2, so the 2 second index is a zeroth index, one index, and this is the second index. So the value at the second index is a 3. So the output should be 3. I execute this program. So here you can see the output is a 3. And if we talk about the negative indexing, you can see that negative indexing is started from the -1. So print my list -1. So you can see -1 means fourth index, and it will start from end to start. So -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. If we talk about the positive indexing, then it will be start from the 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So this is a positive and negative indexing. If we want to uh, change the any number at any index, so what we have to do, I have to just write my list, and here we write the index number. Suppose I have to change the uh, second index value from 3 to 4, so I have to just write 2, and assign the value 3. Execute this, and now print my list. So okay, so I have not changed, I have write the same value. So here I will write 4 because I have to change 3 to 4. So I have to just write 3 to 4, and now I will print. So you can see the output 1, 2 and 4, and this will be changed from 3 to 4. And now if you print the second index, print my list second, so you can see the output is a 4. So by this you can change the data, you can create the list, you can access the elements from the list and rearrange or managing the data on your list. So this is a basic concept of the list. Now there are some methods and functions in the list by which we can do multiple things, like append, insertion, remove, sort, etc. So there are some functions or some methods by which are very helpful in the list. So first is the append. Add an element to the end of the list using the append. So when you have a list and you want to add one more element in your list, so you can use the append method. If you want to insert data in any specific index, then you have to use the insert function. If you want to remove any element at the specific index, then you can use the remove. And if you want to sort the elements, if suppose you have two unsorted numbers in your list, then you want to sort this list in ascending order or descending order, ascending order. So you have to just write the sort function or sort method. So this is some methods by which you can use in your list, and these are very helpful for us. So if we want to use my list dot append 9, so as I use append function to add one more data which is 9. So I execute this, and now print my list. So you can see the one more elements is added on my list. So using append function, you can add uh, more and more elements in your list if you want. So first of all, it will take two parameters. First is index and second is data. So I give the one, means I have to insert the data on in one index. So this is the index and data is new. So this is my insert function, and it will add one more element which is new in the 1th index. Now I will print my list. You can see in 1th index, the new element is added. So this is the insert function. If we talk about the remove function, so you have to just write my, and here you have to write just a element which you want to remove. So I just want to remove which is a. So when I remove this a, it will come successfully executed, and now I will print my list. You can see there is a no any a element. So by this you can remove any element, and so last function is a sort. So first of all, we create a new list in which you have a unordered number which you want to sort. So I have created new list and I want to sort this list. So I have to just write new list dot sort. And now I will print new list. You can see the list is sorted in the. So now move to the data frames in Python. uh, we are going to talk about data frames. So data frames are one of the most important tools you can use for handling and analyzing data. If you have ever worked with a separate sheet or database, data frames will feel pretty familiar. So first question arises that what are the data frames? So think of a data frame as a table, just like a separate sheet or a database. It's made up of row and columns, and each column can hold a different type of data. The data can be numbers, text, etc. So row and columns, just like a table, you can access data by row or columns. Flexible data frames can hold different types of data. Numbers, text, dates are in the same structure. If we talk about the efficient data processing, so Python's Pandas library helps you work with big data quickly and easily. Now, how to create the data frames and import the data frames. So there are three methods by which we can create the data frames. First is a from CSV or Excel file, or second is from dictionaries and from scratches. So you can create a data frame by loading data from a CSV file or an Excel separate file. If you create a data frame from the dictionary, you can also create a data frame from your a Python dictionary where the keys become a column names. And if we create a data frame using the scratch, data frames can be built from the scratch by specifying the column names and data types. So now we will create the data frames from dictionary in our Jupyter. You can create a data frame from a dictionary where the keys are the columns name and the values are listed of the data. So first of all, create a data equal to name, uh, Sohan and Ram. And age 24, 23. These are the ages. So this is our data, and now we create the data frame. So first of all, we have to import the uh, pandas. So here import pandas as PD. df equal to pd dot data frame and data. So this is our data frame. To create the data frame using dictionary, this is our dictionary. And PD I have imported from the pandas library. So the data frames are available in the pandas library. So to use the data frame, I have to import uh, this library. So I have to import this library as a PD, and I will store it in df and pd.data frame, and it takes a parameters. So data is our parameter. Now execute this and print df. So you can see that name and age. So here we are creating a simple table with columns name and age, and the data is passed as a dictionary. So this is a simple data frame. And if we create from the scratch, if you want to full control, you can build a data frame from scratch by defining your data and columns names. You have to just create df equal to directly you have to not passing any parameter, you have to just write the pd dot data frame, data frame, and here you can write 30 and 40. So this is our data frame, and I can use df1 so that there will be no confusion, and print df1. So you can see that you can also create the data frame using the scratch. You can create the data frame using the dictionary, and this method gives you flexibility when you want to create a data frame manually. Now talk about the accessing and manipulating data frames. So to access the data and manipulating the data on the data frames, I can use indexing, selecting, and modifying. So you can access individual rows, columns, or even specific cells by using their labels like column names or by their index position in the data frames. So come to the our code section. Print df name. Okay, so I have used outside now. So you can see that if you want to access a particular column, you have to just write the column name. So I can access that particular columns. If I want to access the age column, so I have to just write df and column name age. So this is directly print the age 20, 30, and 40. So using column name, you can directly access that particular column. Now, if you want to access a particular row, a single row, so you have to just use the ilog function or ilog keyword. So print df dot ilog 0. So you can see I in zeroth index, it will starting from the zeroth index. So in zeroth index, Narendra and age is 20. So you can see name is Narendra and age is 20. So it is a uh, zeroth row. And if we talk about the first row, so this is the Arjun and age 30. So if we access the first row and second column, you have to just write the print df dot ilog 0 and 1. So if you want to access a particular cell, so you can use two parameters. You first is a row and second is a column. So this is a zeroth row and first column. So zeroth row and first column intersection point will be your output. Now modifying data. Data frames are flexible. You can easily add, update, or delete columns and rows. If you want to add new column, you have to just write df country, country, country. Okay, so this is the addition of the extra column, which is country, USA, India, and UK. If you want to delete the column, you have to just write df is equal to df dot drop, and here you have to write the column's name or row name. So we use column, columns equal to each column has removed. So this is how you can transform your data frame by adding new information or updating existing information.